Good morning, everybody. I see everybody must have the Super Bowl sickness today. I don't have a lot of participants on here live. So if you signed up, I'll be happy to send you the recording after. And crazy enough, this is supposed to be one of the best masterminds we're going to have all year. We're going to talk about, your monthly goals. So let's just get right down to it, guys. So welcome to your motivational call. Some of you are a little slow on the draw today. So yeah, a lot of writing on here. Hi, we got some folks. So it's leap year. So it is actually February 3rd, but it's the first Monday of the month. We have 4 full work weeks. We have plenty of time to get things done. My preference was to have everyone have your written goals for the month over the weekend. However, there was a lot of celebration and whatnot going on, so it's not too late to do it today. So glad you're joining us. Hopefully this will get your mind right and get your business in gear for February with some of the tips you'll get here today. So what if your goal, instead of focusing on 2020, is just simply to have 1 new listing appointment or 1 buyer consultation each week? So how do you make that happen? What is your personal conversion rate? And most agents do not track this. So that's the first thing that a real estate coach can help you with. How many contacts do you personally need to make to get a lead or a referral? So if you're having a real estate conversation with somebody, how many of them are going to raise their hand and say, well, we've been considering putting our house on the market this spring, or no, we're good with where we are, but our neighbors 2 doors down have been talking about selling their house. We noticed they just put a new roof on. That's a lead. So how many of those, once you get those, how many can you convert to an actual contract? So those are 2 different conversion numbers. How many people do you need to get in front of every day, every week to create a new lead? And then how many of those leads become prospects, people that you're working with, so that you can get to a contract? So here's a quick little number you can use if you have no idea what your personal rate is. The average is 50 to 60, so let's just take a nice round 50 to get to the lead. So 10 real estate conversations, 5. No, I gotta mute somebody here. If you're talking, I can hear you. Guys, if you're talking, I can hear you. So can everybody else. So all leads do not become viable prospects, right? So why don't you account for 50% attrition? So account for 50% you gain them. Attrition is gaining. So that means if you want 1 a week, 4, you're going to probably need to get 8 new leads, because 50 are going to slither away. They're not loyal. You didn't get them on a buyer brokerage agreement. The listing will expire. The contract will fall apart during home inspection. So not all of those will go to the actual contract, to the closing table. So what do you need to do? The example I used said that if you get 1 appointment a week, then 2 of those will probably end up at the closing table. So what activities will you engage in to be able to get in front of 50 new people each week? And everybody's business plan is different. So that's where a coach helps you create your individual personal business plan. So I'm not worried about all 2020. Let's just worry about what's going on for February. I've muted some and I still hear others. Hi, everybody. Good morning. And by the way, everybody, I'm muting everybody on here because I've been hearing a lot of feedback. Whoever you're talking to on the phone and whatnot, when you do that, we can all hear you. So I've just muted all of you just for courtesy. But I am recording. Oh, yes, I am recording this. I believe I did. So I'll be able to forward this to you all later if you'd like. So one thing that I have to clarify to everybody, both on the call and in my coaching, is prospecting time is different from follow-up time. So a lot of you are cheating yourselves, right? So prospecting time is when you're looking for new business. Follow-up time, and a lot of people lump it all together, and so you are cheating yourself out of creating new business. Follow-up time is when you do those follow-up emails, those follow-up texts, those follow-up calls to folks that you're already working with, or you've already used them as a lead, and you're sending them new email listings again, or you're sending them a new text, but they're already in your pipeline as somebody that you might do business with or you already are. So follow-up is different from prospecting, and really, you probably only need to set aside a couple hours a week for follow-up, guys. All right, you don't need to, follow-up isn't something that you need to do every day. Prospecting is what you need to do every day. So let's get back to next. Do you guys, like I said, I am recording this, I just verified, so if you want a screenshot, that's fine. Otherwise, if you're interested, send me your email address in the chat box and I can email you a link to the video later on today. Cool? It'll also be posted on my YouTube channel later and on my Facebook business page, and that is at Boundless Business Coaching. Moving right along, my friends. So, 2020, Eat the Frog. Has anybody heard of this book? So prospecting, when do we do this? All the leaders tell you to do it first thing in the morning, and that's this concept of eat the frog. So nobody wants to prospect, dial for dollars, lead generate. All those words have horrid connotations, right? But that is our business. And in my webinar coming up at 11 a.m., we'll talk more about that. Technically, we are in two businesses in real estate. The real estate business, that's more the follow-up and handling the transactional stuff, whether or not you have an admin or transaction coordinator. And then you're in the lead generation business, looking for business. We're in this weird industry where we both have to find both the product and the people, right? The product is the listings, the people are the buyers. So we have to do double the work of anybody else that owns their own business. So I want you to keep that in mind. So that's why ideally they say do your prospecting first, because nobody really wants to engage in that, right? So let's move on. Books. What book will you read or listen to for February? I am going to read How Successful People Lead. That's my choice. And I don't care if you are doing audiobooks or if you actually manually read. I like to physically touch the book. Does anybody have I'm going to unmute everybody for a minute. Does anybody have a book that they're going to start for February? Or does anybody have any recommendations for everybody else? It can either be personal self-growth or business. Anyone? All right. We'll keep rolling, but please find a book. Anyone? A book? A book, yeah. Is there a book that you recommend or for everybody that you've read or that you're going to read? Okay, perfect. So we have a comment. Listening to Your Prosperous Mind, that's awesome. That's the one I actually, that was my January book, and I think I have one chapter left, so I am committed to finishing that today so that I can start my February. So what do you think of it? I like it. So guys, that's one if you don't have one to pick, Your Prosperous Mind. It's actually, I would grab it, but it is a couple seats away on my couch here. Your Prosperous Mind if you don't have one. So there's an idea for you. For a minute. And we'll get back to questions in a minute. Moving right along, my friends. Next we have a computer that won't work. We got frozen. There. So one of the biggest challenges I hear from folks in my coaching is, but I just moved here, but I really don't know that many people. I came from the corporate world and then I went home and took care of my family. I just don't know anybody. And we won't get into all those layers of things. The answer is you know a lot more people than you do. But that's where, as a coach, I help people find the people to go create the business and the activities, and we create your plan based on your strengths and what you're willing to do, really, because I can't ask you to do something that you're just not going to do. That's not a win-win. So here's just a couple of ideas I'm going to throw out for you for this week from now through Sunday. If you don't even know where to start, you don't know who you're going to call today, and I'm here to tell you, the vendors will probably be working. The whole rest of the world is probably out for Super Bowl sickness, right? So why don't you contact 20 vendors, people that you do business with, the electricians, plumbers, your termite pest control company, your hairstylist, your dentist, people that you spend money with either in your real estate business or your personal life. If you're stroking them a check or giving them a debit card or a credit card, they better be sending money back to you, agreed? So why don't you ask them who their go-to is for real estate referrals, right? And if they don't have somebody, oh, I use Susie Q. She's my girl. We've had a long-standing relationship. In fact, me and my wife have done 3 transactions with her already. We just love her. We send her all our business. If you're not getting that kind of response from these folks that you've hired to do real estate repairs for your closings, or the plumber to install that new sink in your personal kitchen at home, then you need to be their person, right? So why don't you make that your goal today? So there's a good place to start. The other option or opportunity that I have on that slide was homestead exemption needs to be filed. Remember, in Florida, for folks that purchased a new home last year, needs to be filed by March 1st. Well, it's February, they have a month. And in most counties, I know that you can do it online now. So why don't you go back to all your closings in 2019, I don't care if it was 6 or if it was 24, if it was 58, whatever it was, you need to go dial down, find those lists of closings, including the ones where you have the sellers, guys, because A, they probably bought another house. As long as it was in Florida, homestead exemption applies. And you don't know if that other realtor ghosted them at the table, right? They took their check and ran. We all get, or hopefully not always, but we get ghosted in our personal life. You know what that means, right? So they got orphaned at the closing table. So the realtor has not followed up with them. So you don't know, unless you personally know the realtor that was on the other side of the transaction. Maybe they ghosted their person. So maybe by you contributing something of value, reminding that buyer that bought that listing that you sold, that they need to go file for homestead exemption, maybe you can adopt that person as a referral resource because they'll be so grateful. So what do you think of that? So there's 2 prospecting ideas just for this week alone. And that could reach tons of people. Now here's the trick. All those people that you reach out to, prospecting in real estate isn't a one and done thing. So you need to make sure that you follow up with a handwritten note and maybe put your business card in there. It could be a quick little note. Hey, great chatting with you today. Wishing you a great week, wishing you a prosperous month, wishing you a 2020 full of positivity and prosperity. Those are the notes that I've been sending out to people. Just a quick little message like that. And put them in your database so that you can put them on a drip campaign and maybe send them an email once a month. That's prospecting. Moving right along. Hope you guys are taking notes here. So what else do you personally want to engage in to create business? I'm going to open up the floor on this again, if anybody wants to participate. What are some activities that you personally want to engage in? Anyone? Make this small.
193 points on the Dow Industrials. What have we got on Nike?
So the stock is up. Yeah, well, that's because UBS just upgraded.
Is that somebody on the call, or is that somebody having a personal conversation on our call? So how about, guys, obviously we do open houses, networking events. If you're involved in some kind of community charity or that kind of thing, and you're doing it because it's a love, it's a passion, and not because you're there to be an ambulance chaser and get the business. The dog park. I mean, I met a lady at the dog park. I don't even have a dog. I went there with a friend a few weeks ago. So I see we got some more. I'm going to open up the chat box. Hope that's okay. So that means we're all going to see. Let me get in here. Somebody had some ideas. Seminars with potential buyers, contacts with humans. Oh my gosh, you're making me laugh because you know I love that. Y'all, seriously. Just talking to people wherever you go. You never know who you're going to run into. So it's as simple as that. Just being out and about. Let's not lock ourselves at our dining room table all day and hoping that the phone's going to ring. That's not how we get business. Why don't you go take your laptop to a coffee house, a local coffee shop, so you're supporting a small business, right? And wear your name tag or wear some branded clothing, or maybe you put a little sticker on the back of your laptop that says, I'm a realtor, come talk to me. Really, it sounds cheesy, but I swear to you, it works. Anybody else have any ideas to get business this week? I'm hoping you guys are going to be busy. Your monthly plan how-to. So here's another way that I help folks. It is February. If you did not have a day full of appointments or open houses, it's a Monday, you don't, you're not home sick, from the coronavirus, and I don't make light of that. It sounds like it's a very serious thing, by the way. I know I've seen all the posts, but guys, let's be, cognizant of the fact people are dying. So let's, prayers for those folks. But point is, let's make if you haven't made your February plan, I don't care if you've never done one before, start something new today. It's a new year, new month. So the first thing that you do, and I do it, and I will, when I unshare this picture, I will show you what my freaking crazy calendar always looks like. My phone's locked up right now. But here's where people fail. It's not selfish to put yourself first and your family. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a divorce. If you're in a marriage, you'll end up in a breakup if you're in a relationship. Real estate has one of the highest divorce rates of any white collar industry. Did you know that? So start by making your family and the people that you care about a priority. Those go in your calendar first. So here's the trick, is we don't tell our customers, oh, I have date night with my wife that night. That's not how that works, guys. They don't care about our personal life, only we do. So you have an appointment. If you go to the gym every day at noon because you take a midday break, that's an appointment. Sorry, I have an appointment from 12 to 2. I'm available after 3. That's your business. So you notice some other things we put in there. I put in reading. I put in, get back to it, whatever it is that you do for physical activity, because if your body isn't right, your mind will not be working right. So you have to take care of you first in order to serve others. There's the gym, or you have the Peloton, which is, all the rage these days, or you do yoga or meditation in a class or alone, whatever it is that you do for some sort of physical activity to get your body in proper working gear, you need to put that in your calendar. We've already talked about the reading. Prospecting time is a minimum. It's supposed to be 3 hours a day, a minimum of 5 days a week, hence the 15 hours. That's not a big chunk of your life, folks, but that is how you generate business every week. So you need to put that in your calendar. Preset chunks of time for showings and listings. When people call us, we don't let them control us. Great, I'm free this week. When can you go look at the house? That's letting people control us, and that's setting up the wrong example. We own our business. We are in control of our business, right? So great, I'm available. And I just did this to a friend yesterday, and she understands. She wants to see a condo. I said, great, I'm available at 4 on Tuesday. She goes, I'm not sure about Tuesday. What about Wednesday afternoon? I said, I'm available after 2 on Wednesday. So then suddenly she comes back with, I guess it'll have to be 4 on Tuesday. Great, I'll set it up. So set up the appointment. So you give people 2 options. And if neither of those had worked for her, she would have recommended a third, because that's how humans work. If one of those 2 time slots will work for them, they'll take it because they really want your help to get into the house or whatever it is, or maybe to have you come sit at their dining room table for the prospective listing. So offer 2 times that you've already preset in your phone. The way I gave my friend those 2 options is, I know what my February calendar looks like. See all those colors? Those are times that aren't available for showings because I got stuff going on. So obviously I set aside time for this for 30 minutes every Monday morning. It's in my calendar from now to the end of the year. The webinar that I'm doing at 11 o'clock, that's a monthly webinar. That is in my calendar as a recurring event. Once a month on Mondays, the first Monday of the month at 11, that's in my calendar. That's a no-go. I can't not show up to host a webinar, and if I put it on my calendar, and you guys are gonna show up and go wonder where the host is. So think about running your business like a business. Family first, your personal time, your exercise, your reading, whatever it is you want to get grounded for the day and get your mind right. And then, the other thing in there too is, I've talked about reading, but what are you going to do for education? What are some trainings? I don't care if it's YouTube, if it's webinars that come zipping through your Facebook newsfeed. That's where I get a lot of training, frankly, or live trainings. But why don't you pick 2 educational events that you're going to attend this month? If you want to learn about social media, if you want to perfect open houses, if you want to perfect cold calls, whatever it is that you want to get better at, go seek out resources that can help you with that. Put it in your calendar and make it happen. A lot of it's free. Cool? So let's get on to, any questions? Oh, and listen, it is important to have some, I don't want your day to be filled hour by hour, right? You got to give yourself some downtime. And see that bottom, life's twists and turns? Because we know we're in real estate and our schedule, no matter how much we plan, it gets all wonky, right? So I've referenced this a little bit, guys. This is something I do monthly. It's it's gonna last about an hour, heads up. 19 real estate success secrets revealed. I'm not selling you a lead generation system. It's not magic. It is the basics. It's the things that we probably know we should be doing and we're not engaging in. So if you do want to screenshot this, you can join right here. It's going to be a different Zoom link than we're on now. So that'll be in about an hour. Again, you're welcome to join. I've already got several people that have registered for it through my Eventbrite link. So there will be a handful of people on that as well. So what successes can we celebrate today? What I like to do every week is for people to share any wins that they had last week. If you got a new listing, particularly here's a great place to promote it. If you had a buyer consultation or got a new buyer prospect, if you had a successful open house, if you had a closing. So what real estate successes can we celebrate today together? Anyone? If not, you guys have a lot of work to do for February, agreed? Let's see what we can celebrate next week, my friends. So as we wrap this up, because I promised to keep it within 20 to 30 minutes, I also want to let you guys know I am a certified real estate coach with Boundless Coaching. I have a coach to keep me in check, which is why I'm always reading and doing trainings too, so that I can get better at helping those that hire me to help them. So just real quick, so over here on the right, so again, it's called Boundless Coaching. So I do have availability to add 2 new clients to my roster this month in February. If that's something you're interested in, my contact information is over here. That's my big long email address, integrityandauthenticity@gmail.com. That's my cell. Yes, it's 850. Everybody asked about that. I live in Jacksonville. I've been here since 2005, but I started my real estate career in 1999 in Tallahassee. So my past customers are freaking all over the country, and 1 or 2 actually in Europe. So I want them to be able to find me easily, right? So that's for coaching. Like I said, I've got spots for 2 more people, and I'm not one of those real estate coaches that's looking to make a gazillion dollars off of people calling me and having quick 30-minute conversations with people. And how many people did you call? How many open houses did you have? That's not my gig. I have a degree in psychology. I joke that I don't like people, but I really do. I care about people and their well-being and self-growth. So it is about the numbers. It's about creating your business plan. It's about what you want to get accomplished. And then I'm going to help provide you the accountability and the resources. I have tons of resources, including listing presentations, script books, an activity tracker that shows you where you are throughout the month. All types of things are involved in my coaching. So my coaching appointments are 1 hour every 2 weeks. And I've only got a handful of people that I work with every year. I'm almost halfway at my limit for 2020. So if that's something you want to consider, we need to talk. It's a very affordable plan, I promise. And we even have a special pay plan, compensation plan specifically for Florida homes and realty and mortgage. Lord, I can't even talk this morning. For our folks, FHRM, we have a special payment plan that James and I worked out if you're with that brokerage. So the other piece here is I also own a real estate school that I've owned since 2016. If you want to take your CE courses, your 14 hours, and yes, it includes the ethics requirements. You need your post-licensing. Remember, if you're in your probationary period, your first 18 to 24 months as a salesperson or broker, then you need your post-licensing. So for salespersons, that's a 45-hour course. For brokers, is 60. All of that you can do online right there. Once you purchase the course, the online course, you have 6 months to complete. Obviously, if your license is up next month, the clock is ticking. You have about 2 months to get that finished. There's also review and test prep for folks if you have friends that are ready to sit for the state exam. I just had somebody who took the online course, and he did a whole package deal that had review resources with the course, and he passed on the first try for his broker. He's here in town at Exit One Stop. So that's a true story. So if you need any of your education, then you can use, it's the same, if you want to email me, it's the same email and cell phone as my coaching business. But if you want to go directly to the school site, it's right there. So just want to throw that out there for you. And, well, I didn't put it in there. So just want to throw that out there. So I'm going to unmute those that I can. Some of you have muted yourselves, and I appreciate that. So it's time to wrap up, guys. Oh, we have one more chat message. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, just plain old back to prospecting, right, guys? Just plain old prospecting. So any questions? No, I'm not ending the meeting yet. Any questions or things you want to share now that we're about to wrap up? And listen, guys, I'm stoked. 5 of you are joining live in person on Super Bowl Monday. Oh, that's all right. I've got somebody, no worries at all. Currently working in office setting, love that. So any other questions, or if you want to reach out to me personally, hopefully you screenshotted that last screen, and feel free to reach out to me anytime. And if you guys want to come back, there's that new link at 11 o'clock for the 1-hour webinar training. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a great week.